Hey folks, this video is going to cover techniques on creating 4-piece rigs in Harmony. Alright, so let's go set up this character. Real quick, I have the transform tool selected, so when I click on any of these nodes to select the artwork, it highlights in purple. If I shift click drag all of these and do a control shift P, it's going to give me a node to control each of those. These are pegs, and what I want to do is to go to each piece using the translate tool, and I want to go and move these to the right pivot point location. Quickly go to the transform tool and move the artwork to see if it behaves appropriately. Go back to the translate tool, and I'm just going to do this over and over again. Little wash, rinse, and repeat. Okay, so now that everything has been set up, we need to determine who's the boss. So it makes sense to me that the body, if I move the location, is going to be the boss, because if I tilt it or if I do anything to this character, it needs to follow accordingly. I don't want to have the wheel as the boss, because if I spin it around, the entire rig is going to spin. Okay? So let's put that body there, and then let's get the wheel to follow. Now it snaps into place. I can also click on the wheel, spin it independently of the body, so it will have the illusion of it driving around. Let's get that jetpack. Let's go and link that as well, and then the head of the character. Alright, so now I want to add one last controller, because I can get this character to tilt moving forwards, but I'd like the ability to do a little squash and stretch. So going back to the top of the hierarchy, I'm going to do a control P to add another peg. With this one, I can double click and rename it in the layers menu. So I'm going to just type it CHAR for character, controller, and then what I want to do is go back and set the translation point to the bottom. What this does is allows me to still independently rotate the character moving forward. So if I transform it, it can tilt back and forth. Press R for reset. But if I go to the topmost controller, I can go and squash and stretch and skew it, so that way it has a little bit of that motion speed and stretch. It's really nice. Alright, so it's time to wrap this one up, and I'm going to share some highlights of the animation process. So I think it's a good idea to get that timing and spacing of the larger movement down first. Stuff like the jetpack and the wheels, that can be animated later. Overlapping action in the head, those hand-drawn animation effects, just save that stuff for all the way at the end of your project. Really, you want to get that bigger motion done first so the timing looks right. And my hope is that you're starting to see that this rigging stuff takes a little bit of problem solving and ingenuity with the organization of your rigs. There's no one way to do this. There's a million ways, and I'm sure there are a bunch of ways that are way smarter than the things that I've presented. Maybe you can share them with me. Drop me a message if you can. I'd love to see your work. Anyways, you know the deal. Do me a favor. Give this a shot. Thanks for trying. Bye.